kind of hit the 80s. 80s were kind of rough, kind of hard to work on the farm and make a living at it. So about 1986, I went to work at Fresno State University. I got a job as the vineyard manager. I worked as a vineyard manager for 7 years, transferred to the orchard. I was the orchard manager as well as a few other things there at the university until I retired 24 years later in, I think it was 2000, maybe it was 26 years later, 2010 I retired out of the university. By then we had built up a little bit of a farming operation, and when I came back onto our own farming operation, that's when we began the spray business. We've been doing some spraying prior to that. I did a lot of spraying at Fresno State, ran a lot of different pieces of equipment, stuff that was donated to us, loaned to us, various manufacturers. And one of those pieces of equipment was Aerofan. Aerofan had donated equipment to Fresno State. I came to use those, liked them, bought them, and so as I was upgrading to my 4th unit or 5th unit from Aerofan, that's when we decided to put a rate monitoring system on it. There's always one concern when you put a computer on a piece of equipment, and that is what happens if this thing shuts down or this thing fails on me and I'm in the middle of a spray job, or I'm on the weekend, or which 9 times out of 10 we're spraying at night. What do I do then? Does this computer failure cause me to lose the whole night? And what we found is that it really doesn't. We've been able to override it by hand to get us through the night when we've had a problem, whether it be the computer or being a valve problem or a flow control problem. Usually it's not a flow control, it's usually a valve more than it's ever been the computer. It always seems to be a valve issue. It's been real simple. We'll just use the handheld AgOtter app, and we know what rate we want, and as we're watching that thing go, we manually adjust the valve. At that point, we're back to being a regular spray rig. So once I got the valve adjusted where I'm getting 100, 150 gallons to the acre, I tell my driver, your thumbs up, you're good to go, stay at that speed the rest of the night. Don't change your speed, keep your speed set. So we've lost the ability to speed up or slow down a little bit, but we're able to get through the night or get through the job, bring the machine home, and then bring it in our shop, figure out what went wrong, correct it, and get back out in the field. So we don't lose any downtime because of a failure. If we're ever written up for drift, and the comment being your machine did not turn off on the road, I can go back and I can pull that up and I can show them where we did turn off. And so my big thing is I don't even want to run a machine without some sort of rate monitoring system on it. What I found is that with AgOtter, it's turned out to really be one of the best ones out there. It not only, monitors my rate, but it even monitors where we've sprayed in the field, where we didn't. I can pull down information. I can pull a map off of a field and see if my guy turned off when he went around the grower's house like I asked him to, if one side was turned off. Since then, we don't run anything without rate monitors on them anymore. And so what I enjoy about the rate monitoring simply is the accuracy it gives me, and it takes away any guesswork. We can set the machines exact. My driver is supposed to be driving 2.2 miles an hour. He might speed up to 2.3, he might go down to 1.9, and at the end of the day we get the exact same rate no matter what. So I really stay away from the problem of having my drivers to have to be exact and select. And I'm still learning. I mean, they've got more stuff on them now that that I think it makes them more of a valuable tool, whether you use all those tools or not that's on them. I use it primarily for rate monitoring. Everything we spray is here local, so I'm not running to where I have to keep up with tractors in 3 different counties and know what they're doing. But there are those options on there for large growers to be able to manage where their tractors are at. If they missed parts in the field, you've got 3 tractors in the field. It's really easy. If your guys get off on rotation, they miss 2 or 3 rows. And with the way it monitors and it tracks and it records, at the end of the day you can pull all that information in, download it, and from sitting in an office, somebody can very simply pull up that map and see all these green lines, and all of a sudden, well, there's a blank in the middle. So what happened here? Did we miss these 2 rows? Hopefully none of my guys miss rows, but there is that possibility. At night you get confused, you get on the wrong row or something. So That's one of the other benefits. But the calibration side of the business is critical, and that's where I think it's the biggest savings for me. Is my calibration is spot on, no matter what gallonage I put out, what gallonage the PCA was.